This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
When local growers put great food on Tennessee tables, that's living green. On the next Live Green, we stop by the juice truck in Cookeville. Next, we visit the Gentle Barn in Knoxville. And finally, we meet Nashville artist Clay Bush at Salvage Upholstery and Design. All this and more coming up next on Live Green, Tennessee.
Pick Tennessee helps you find local farms and farmers markets, plus offers tips for choosing, using, and storing the fresh foods you buy. The Pick Tennessee mobile app is available now on iTunes and Google Play.
Radon gas is a naturally occurring radioactive gas found in rock and soil and can seep into your home through basements or cellars. It's odorless, invisible, and without taste, and can damage lung tissue and cause the beginning of lung cancer, making it the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. It's important to understand how you can protect yourself, and the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation can help you learn more about this dangerous gas and make your home a safer place.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
Hello, I'm Melinda Kiefer, and I'm proud to bring you stories from across our great state on Live Green, Tennessee. To avoid competition with fellow organic farmers at the local farmers market, John Cahill decided to try a different approach. Taking organic grown fruits and vegetables, he would provide customers with freshly squeezed juice, all from a mobile unit.
I like that it's made, orange juice is great, but it's still in a bottle from the store. I like that this can have some other flavors mixed in with it.
It's just a really convenient, quick way to get something healthy into your body. Hey, my name is John Cahill, owner of the Juice Box, organic juice bar here in Cookeville, Tennessee. Here at the Juice Box, we serve fresh, organic, cold-pressed juices. The mission here is to make a super delicious, fresh juice and be able to serve it to everybody in the community so they can experience just a different way of getting their fruits and vegetables in their diet. We started out as organic farmers in Livingston, Tennessee, and we took our produce down to the Cookeville Green Market every Saturday. And one day we realized that we had 6 other competitors that we really liked all around us, and we just decided to start juicing our produce instead of selling it. And it's just taken off from there. Have you ever had a cold pressed juice before? Oh man, come in a little bit closer here. I'm gonna let you have a sample of some. We try to produce as much produce on our farm in Livingston as we can, naturally. But there's things like lemons and pineapples that don't really grow here in Tennessee, and we get that stuff from the organic section in the grocery store or through different organic food distributors. We also try to purchase as much as we can from other organic farmers here in the area so that we can kind of spread around where we get our stuff from.
I actually saw them on social media. I think it was either on Instagram or Facebook maybe. Somebody had, you know, said how excited they were to come over. And so it caused me to poke around online. I may have found their website, I don't remember for sure, but I've seen them driving by a couple of days. And from what I perceive, they're a local farm, and so I guess they're growing all this stuff, and I think that's kind of a cool twist too. They're out here hustling, and I want to support that as well. So,
from the time that we decided that we wanted to open the juice bar to opening it was about 4 months or so, and we chose the mobile juice bar, one, because of the overhead is a lot less, and two, because we wanted to be mobile and be able to go to different farmers markets and events in the area. We found somebody who had a concession trailer that they weren't using anymore, and we just kind of picked up where they left off and added our own brand and image to it, and just started juicing. So yeah, juicing is a great way to enhance your diet at the least. We have a lot of customers who actually have our juices as either their breakfast or their lunch, and some even do both. So it's just a really convenient, quick way to get something healthy into your body, especially today when everybody's so busy and on the go. It's nice to have an option that is just readily available for you on your way to work or on your way home. And the diet that most people are just regularly eat now is killing them, and juice is an alternative to that. It tastes great, it's quick, and it's easy, and it's good for your body.
Generally speaking, I like coffee, and I also have a sweet tooth, and so juice goes well with that. I saw they have some coffee, which I haven't tried yet, but I do look forward to trying that, you know, maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Hey guys. Have a good day. You too. So there was a mother with 3 of her kids that came up once, and she told me how her kids were all really picky eaters, couldn't get them to eat any vegetables. And I had them try a sample of our rabbit juice, which is carrot, pineapple, and summer squash. And the son, he took a sip. He had a curious face at first, but he took a sip, and then a big grin came across his face, and he had an orange carrot juice mustache, and they've been back ever since. They always get the rabbit juice. So. So we really like not being stuck in one place and traveling around to different events, meeting new people. Usually we are received pretty well at most events we go to. It's fun watching somebody's face be confused when they initially walk up, and then they try one of our juices and they kind of have a new idea of what a juice can be, and that's a really rewarding and exciting thing. So yeah, you can find us Monday through Friday here on Cedar Street across from World Foods, or on Saturdays at the downtown Green Market. And we're always here from 7 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, and we would love to serve you just a big cold glass of juice.
After visiting the volunteer state to help an injured calf, the Gentle Barn set up shop in Knoxville to help teach people compassion to animals, each other, and the planet.
So the Gentle Barn was my dream since I was 7 years old. When I was a kid, I lived where there were woods and lakes, and so that was my playground. I was always mucking in the lakes, playing with the frogs, or playing in the woods with the rabbits. And when I was 7 years old, I started finding animals that needed help. Maybe baby birds that fell out of their nests, or ducks frozen in the lake, or orphan bunnies. And so I started taking them home when I found them needing help. And my little plan was to have a house full of animals that I saved, and they would be my friends. My parents were not amused at all. They did not want a house full of animals. And so they would get rid of the animals. And I would say, "How can you do this to me?" And they'd say, "Ellie, when you grow up, you can have as many animals as you want." So I now have 175 animals. And that was the beginning of the Gentle Barn. The Gentle Barn was founded in California 16 years ago in 1999. We are now home to 175 animals, including horses, cows, pigs, sheep, goats, chickens, turkeys, peacocks, llamas, dogs, cats, donkeys, parrots, and an emu. We do two things. The first of which is we save animals that no one else wants. So those are the animals that we purposely seek out. And we bring them in and we rehabilitate them with vet care and a whole slew of complementary methods. Once the animals are finally healthy and happy, typically we give them sanctuary for the rest of their lives. And then when they're ready, they help us with our second part of our program, which is the animals help us heal children with the same stories of abuse and neglect. So we work with special needs kids, at-risk, inner-city kids, as well as adults actually. We work with war veterans, senior centers, domestic violence shelters, really anyone that needs hope, anyone that needs unconditional love and some healing. And they come out, and through the interaction with the animals and the stories of the animals and the love and the hope that the animals give them, the people learn kindness, compassion, and confidence and really find themselves in the barnyard. For the last several years, it's been our goal to have Gentle Barns in every state in the country, but we weren't quite ready yet until we met Dudley. So we got a call from someone who lived in Tennessee. She called us in California and she said, "I know this sounds crazy because I'm in Tennessee and you're in California, but there's a steer here that needs help and no one locally has the wherewithal to be able to help him." And I just thought, maybe you can do something. So we did some research and found UT nearby that has one of the leading bovine surgeons in the country. And we did more research and found there were several companies that were willing to give a prosthesis for a cow. So we ended up getting a donation to fly to Tennessee, pick up Dudley in Nashville, drive him to the University of Tennessee, where he was assessed by the surgeon, Dr. Anderson. We were really nervous that maybe Dr. Anderson would say that he wasn't a good candidate or maybe the damage was too far gone. But much to our delight, he said he was a perfect candidate and we were the perfect organization to be able to sustain him after the prosthesis. Finally, the day arrived where Dr. Anderson said it's time to start thinking about him leaving the hospital. We don't have a large university hospital like University of Tennessee, Knoxville, near us in Los Angeles. We have wonderful mobile vets, but we don't have a big supportive hospital. And we really thought that for the rest of Dudley's life, it's in his best interest to be near UT Knoxville. We made the decision to keep him here. And at first we thought, well, do we find another organization to take him? Do we board him at a facility? We were able to find this beautiful location for rent. So we were able to start our second location in Tennessee, and we're very, very excited to be here and to have gone national.
I was one of the kids that we work with today. Animals really healed me growing up, especially horses. I've always been very connected with horses. Being healed by animals, I know what it's like to come in and need that as a child. The joke around here is I'm the volunteer that never left. I really fell in love with the place. I spent a lot of time getting to know the animals and never had a relationship with anything other than a domestic animal, but I ended up having a friendship with a rooster specifically. His name was Mr. Olaf, and every time I came into the Gentle Barn, this rooster would just come running up to me. And one day he didn't come run up to me, and I went and looked for him, and it was unfortunately his last day. And I had this feeling of sorrow and loss that I had never had before for any other animal other than like maybe a human, like my grandfather passing away or something like that. And I thought to myself, wow, this animal was just like me and you. He was intelligent, he knew who I was, he missed me when I was gone, and I just fell in love with that concept. I didn't want to leave the place because I really wanted to stay connected to that feeling. And so, you know, I ended up joining the board of directors and ended up moving into a relationship with Ellie, and we ended up having this opportunity to run this place together that was just unbelievable for me.
When people come and visit these animals, the very first thing that we do is tell their stories. And immediately, people identify with them. They identify with feeling lonely, feeling unwanted, feeling scared, feeling unseen. And through identifying with their stories, they also identify with their recovery. Because these animals, who were like them at one point, have learned to trust and love and find joy and embrace their second chance. And so the animals turn around and heal people, and it's this incredible circle of healing.
Well, my first thought was it was just an animal sanctuary, which is a beautiful thing. I mean, the world needs a lot more animal sanctuaries, especially for farmed animals. But I didn't know that there was so much interaction with troubled youth and troubled adults and high needs individuals, which is just a perfect combination. The world needs a lot more of this kind of thing.
So the future for the Gentle Barn in Tennessee is to be able to connect enough with the community that every morning we're doing school field trips, every afternoon we're doing special needs at-risk and inner-city groups. On Saturdays, we have people all over Tennessee as well as neighboring states come and visit the animals. So hopefully more and more people will hear of us, more people will come and meet the animals, hug them and be inspired, and we'll be able to share a little bit of gentleness here in Tennessee.
In 2012, Nashville artist Clay Bush merged Junkyard Salvage with upholstery experience to create Salvage Upholstery and Design. It's a collection of furniture, messenger bags, purses, wallets, and other items that are made from recycled seat belts, airbags, and buckles. With a nearly unlimited supply of repurposed industrial-grade material, combined with an artistically meticulous process, Clay Bush provides products that will not only last, but also make a stylish impression.
Well, I'm Clay Bush. I have a business called Salvage Goods, and it consists of messenger bags, backpacks, purses, wallets, computer bags, all types of things that are made out of seat belts from old cars. When I first started making the bags, it was just friends, you know, I make them for friends and family here and there, and then once I started actually doing it for my main source of income, I started doing art shows, different art shows, regional, everywhere from, you know, Middle Tennessee. Then I started branching out into, you know, Atlanta area and Indianapolis, then to Chicago, and been to Virginia Beach and Southern Florida. So lots of different places like that. I was at a junkyard, saw the seat belts, put all my other experiences together with that and started pulling them out and washing them and then sewing them together, and one thing led to another, and I started making bags. And the word salvage is not only for the materials, but it's also for, it goes into a metaphor for a lot of other things. You know, we have our society, there's a lot of discards and throwaways, and you know, we don't tend to repair things or replace things or reuse stuff. So I like the idea of, you know, reusing, repurposing, and taking something old and transforming it and transcending it from its old use into something new. And I find success when people don't recognize what it is, when they have to stop and look, and then they might see the Cadillac emblem, and then they start thinking a little, and they're like, oh, is this the upholstery? And I say, no, it's not. And then they're like, oh, the strap's a seatbelt. And I say, what else? And then they look at it closer and they realize the whole bag is made out of seatbelts. And also the inside of the bags is airbag. And airbag is a great material because it has a silicone lining, which is waterproof. So the interior pockets are waterproof. Another aspect of my product that I really appreciate and like is the diversity of my buyers. They're everywhere from successful businessmen and women to, you know, I've even had like high school kids that have saved their money to buy one to go off to college with. I've also had, you know, some really trendy kids that, you know, hang out at the coffee shop all day, they get one. And so it's really, I enjoy
the diversity of my customers, as opposed to branding for a specific group of people and only focusing on those types of people that want to buy this product to, you know, reflect this culture or ideal that they want to be. Weave structures and color varieties, there can be a slight difference between a gray and a silver. And I have to roll the seatbelts back up into those specific cars that they came out of. So when I'm laying out actually the pattern of the bag and the way I want it to look, I don't have to dig through a pile of seatbelts and try to find the matching color. So after washing them, they all have to be organized and rolled up. And so then I have like basically the full spectrum of seatbelts on hand to pull out and design. So because of the variety of colors that go back to the blues and reds and everything from the 80s, I get a lot of people ask if I buy the material new or if I dye it. And there are other seatbelt bags that are not necessarily seatbelts because they were never in cars. I would consider them nylon webbing because I know what a seatbelt actually is and what it takes to get one. So in the bags, I try to put a label that comes on the end of the seatbelt that actually shows, it'll say child seat directions, or it'll have the date and manufacturer of the seatbelt itself. And I'll try to put those on the inside of the bag or in a hidden spot so that someone opens the bag up, they can actually see that they are real seatbelts as opposed to material that was bought new. I do believe in, you know, conscious consumption of whatever we buy and purchase, that, you know, we should try to reflect, you know, our values of where that comes from, what it took to make it, and who you're supporting when you buy that. When kids come up to the bags and I get to ask them, you know, if they recognize the buckle, and most of them think they're airplane buckles because they're metal, and then I get the opportunity to say, well, when I was a kid, they used to be metal buckles, and they get really hot in the summertime and they burn your leg, and we'd hide them in the seat and tell our parents we couldn't find them, and they'd stay there for like 30 years until I find them at the junkyard. When I first started acquiring the seatbelt, I had to talk to the junkyard and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do, is it okay? And they looked at me sounding strange. They're like, yeah, whatever. It's like, can I fill this bag up? I'll give you this much money for it. And they're like, whatever. So like 8 hours later, I come back and I've got like 100 pounds of seatbelts. And they thought I was hiding a part that seemed more valuable to them, and I was hiding it with seatbelts, but they realized then I was just getting seatbelts. And now we have a really good relationship, and they expect to see me, and they know who I am, and so it's pretty fun. They always get a kick out of it. When I started doing this, I wasn't really aware that I was getting into fashion, but after I started doing it some, I was like, wow, I'm in the fashion industry, and there's a little bit of stuff in the fashion industry that I sort of, you know, cringe from. And so it's really great now to see that it sort of goes beyond that. It's more about what somebody wants as opposed to what they want other people to think they want.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Live Green Tennessee, where we take you all across the state into the farms and businesses of those who are making the move to eating fresh, living sustainably, and helping us all be more organic in our thinking and the way we live our lives as Tennesseans. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Live Green Tennessee.
If you would like more information about Live Green Tennessee, please visit our website at livegreentv.org, where you can find everything from healthy recipes to past episodes and more.
Pick Tennessee helps you find local farms and farmers markets, plus offers tips for choosing, using, and storing the fresh foods you buy. The Pick Tennessee mobile app is available now on iTunes and Google Play.
Radon gas is a naturally occurring radioactive gas found in rock and soil and can seep into your home through basements or cellars. It's odorless, invisible, and without taste, and can damage lung tissue and cause the beginning of lung cancer, making it the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. It is important to ensure your home is safe with a free radon test kit. The Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation can help you learn more about this dangerous gas and make your home a safer place.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.